Late at night, my girlfriend told me she wanted candied hawthorns from a place 20 kilometers away. I braved the rain to buy them, but when I finally returned home, she locked me out and refused to open the door. By dawn the next day, the door finally opened, only for a man to step out. It was her childhood sweetheart of many years. Where are my clothes? Time and again, she trampled on my sincerity, taking advantage of my love for her to act without restraint. This time, I finally had enough. I broke up with her, but then she regretted it, claiming she had always loved me. Huh. As if I believed that. One Xinyu walked past me, wearing the clothes Li Rongrong had bought me as a birthday gift. I had never dared to wear them, not just because they didn't suit my style, but because they didn't even fit. Now, seeing them on Xinyu, I realized perhaps he was the true owner of that outfit all along. He nodded at me with a smile, his condescending demeanor grinding me into the dirt. Li Rongrong's gaze never left Xinyu, brimming with affection, while I might as well have been filth, unworthy of even a glance. Caught in what should have been an awkward, shameful situation, Li Rongrong showed no guilt. Finally, I clenched my teeth and spoke. Rongrong, let's break up, just because I didn't open the door for you last night. She looked at me like I was insane. Can you stop making a scene? Is this really such a big deal? Her eyes were full of mockery and disdain, as if everything I said or did was just a pathetic attempt to win her attention. For 3 years, she had always been so cold toward me. Countless times, I tried to make her happy, to earn even a single smile, only to end up angering her further. Why is he here? I asked cautiously, afraid to imagine what might have happened between them alone in that room. My voice lacked conviction, as if I already expected her to scold me for asking something I shouldn't. Sure enough, Li Rongrong just sneered. None of your business, right? What did it have to do with me? I'd always known Li Rongrong didn't like me. I'd always known who she truly loved. I just thought that persistence could move her. That time and devotion might make her love me. But that was my mistake. The candied hawthorns were still in my hand, the ones she had said she wanted last night. Do you still want them? They've probably gone bad by now. No, she said it so carelessly. So she did. Know how many hours had passed since I bought them. How long I'd waited outside the door, hoping she'd let me in. Meanwhile, inside, there had been someone else. Maybe they were talking, maybe embracing, maybe kissing, maybe doing something else. So sweet, so happy. Why would they spare a thought for me? What was I? Anyway, and that outfit you had taken, it stuck in my throat like a fishbone. It was the only thing Li Rongrong had ever given me in all these years. Come to think of it, she bought it a full month before my birthday, calling it a birthday gift. A gift that didn't match my style, didn't fit, and arrived a month early, yet I'd treasured it like a priceless relic. I never wore it, only occasionally touching it, carefully hanging it up. For 2 years, I kept it like that, until it returned to its true owner, now draped over Qinyu's body. Li Rongrong didn't even bother responding to me. My declaration of breaking up meant nothing to her. After all, I love her so much. To be with her, I groveled, humiliated myself, begged shamelessly. How could I possibly break up with her? After she left, I sat on the sofa for a long time, having been caught in the rain last night and chilled. I now felt dizzy, probably running a fever. But if Li Rongrong knew I was sick, she'd likely just say, putting on another melodramatic act. Are we? Just like when she fell ill before, and I stayed by her side in the hospital without sleep, only to collapse myself once she recovered. All she said was, how can a grown man be so weak? Useless. Should have just hired a nurse. Less trouble than dealing with you. Sighing, I resigned myself and got up to pack. Most of the things in the house belonged to Li Rongrong. Only a handful were mine, yet my heart ached as if sliced by a knife. This place, where we'd lived together for over 2 years, held countless memories. This was all I had. But when we bought the apartment, I'd already put it under Li Rongrong's name. It was her home, the security I'd given her. So I was the one who had to leave, too, with nowhere to go for the moment. I checked into a hotel to make do. By chance, my friend Chu Xiaojia invited me out for a meal. The moment I stepped into the private room, my gloomy demeanor caught his attention. What's wrong? Did your girl run off with someone else? It was meant as a joke, but given how utterly dejected I looked, it might as well have been true, which, in fact, it was. Chu Xiaojia patted my shoulder. What happened? Something wrong. We broke up. 3 simple words, yet they couldn't possibly sum up the tangled mess of emotions behind them. I never thought I'd be the one to say those words to Li Rongrong. She dumped you. That was Chu Xiaojia's assumption too. After all, everyone knew just how much I adored Li Rongrong. I was the one who ended it. You actually broke up with her. Damn, you've grown a spine. What the hell did she do to hurt you this badly? You love her so much. How could you walk away? I had no way to answer that. The heartache of these past years couldn't be explained in just a few sentences. And even though we'd broken up, I didn't want to badmouth Li Rongrong in front of others. She didn't do anything wrong. It's my fault. I overestimated myself. I was audacious enough to crave something that was never meant to be mine. I was the one forcing things all along. It's on me. She's blameless. Seeing my state, Chu Xiaojia didn't press further. He just kept me company, drink after drink. But the more I drank, the more Li Rongrong crept back into my thoughts, specifically. The girl from years ago who'd first made my heart flutter. Everyone knew Li Rongrong, and I had been together for 3 years. But in my heart, we'd been in love since our teens. I wasn't delusional. It really happened. I remember it clearly. We were in evening self-study back then. Both of us still high school students. Li Rongrong tapped my desk and said, "Come out." Baffled, I followed her into the hallway, under the dim corridor lights. Her eyes sparkled as she grinned. "I want to chase you." "What?" "I want to chase you." My heart pounded so hard I thought it might burst from my chest. Back then, I was just an ordinary guy in class. Average looks, average background, average grades. The kind of person who'd vanish in a crowd. But Li Rongrong was different. She was smart, came from a good family, and was stunningly beautiful, a goddess among mortals. I'd already had feelings for her before that, but I saw myself as nothing more than a toad unworthy of such a swan. I never let those emotions show. No one knew how I felt about her. I didn't dare hope for anything. So when she took the initiative to say she wanted to pursue me, my instinct screamed it was a trick, that she was just teasing me. But even if it was a joke, I'd take it. My face burned crimson as I stammered. "Oh, okay, yeah." I had already prepared for the worst back then. But I never expected Li Rongrong to genuinely treat me as her boyfriend for 3 days. Just 3 days. Those were the sweetest 3 days of my life. Then, on the 4th day, when I brought her breakfast again, she finally smiled and told me it was all just a joke. And now it was over. She had made a bet with someone, confessing to a random person, a silly game. Yet, I felt an odd sense of relief. Fine. She really didn't like me. I'd known that all along. So why did it hurt so much? After that, Li Rongrong treated me no differently from anyone else in class. But my heart was already completely lost to her. I watched over her, gazed at her, waited for her, loved her. It didn't matter that I wasn't in her circle of friends, that I didn't exist in her eyes, or that everyone saw me as just a loser, utterly unworthy of her. During the college entrance exams, Li Rongrong underperformed, while I overperformed by sheer luck. We ended up at the same university. When we went to register together, I noticed someone by her side, Qinyu. They'd supposedly grown up together, inseparable, so close that even in high school, Qinyu had been in the class next to ours. Back then, I'd only paid attention to the boys who actively pursued Li Rongrong, never noticing that she was always the one going to his class. He was the one she had always loved. Even that bizarre confession to me back then had only been to provoke Qinyu. But for some reason, Qinyu never seemed interested in her. In college, while Li Rongrong chased Qinyu, I became her strategist, helping her plan, running to Qinyu's dorm countless times to deliver food, medicine when he was sick, an umbrella when it rained, enthusiastic to a fault. How much did I love Li Rongrong? As much as she loved Qinyu. Even when he dated other girls, she didn't care. She loved him recklessly, unconditionally. 3. Every word of her accusation pierced straight to my heart. I thought, of course I want to. But I know she doesn't like me. Yet Li Rongrong hugged me again. She said Qin, you was going to marry someone else. That the two of them would never have a chance in this lifetime. So she wanted to be with me. That night, I truly believed I had finally weathered the storm and seen the moon. The toad had tasted swan meat. The loser had embraced the goddess. Li Rongrong even boldly took me home to meet her parents, saying she wanted to marry me. Her parents were furious about her obsession with Qinyu, accusing her of shaming the family. And I, dull, honest, from an ordinary background, was just the kind of son-in-law Li Rongrong's family could easily control. They were overjoyed with me as their future son-in-law and eagerly agreed to the marriage. The engagement preparations were in full swing. Though my parents felt uneasy, they respected my decision. But just 2 days before the engagement, Qinyu reappeared. He told Li Rongrong he regretted it. He didn't want to marry that woman anymore. He wanted to be with her. Li Rongrong's first reaction was to call off the engagement with me. If she could just shake me off, she could be with Qinyu, achieve their happy ending, and live blissfully ever after. But by then, the engagement was imminent, and all the relatives knew. The Li family couldn't bear the humiliation, so they forcibly separated the lovebirds once more. Under pressure from both families, Qinyu had no choice but to leave the city. The two even lost contact briefly, and Li Rongrong was plunged back into despair. She couldn't escape her family's control. Without her parents' support, she was nothing. Her lofty demeanor crumbled. She couldn't hate her parents, so she hated me instead. Li Rongrong hit me countless times, kicking, punching, leaving bloody scratches with her sharp nails, even throwing chairs and cups at me until I was covered in wounds. Why didn't you refuse me back then? Can't you say no to any woman? If you had rejected me, if we hadn't gotten together, if we hadn't gotten engaged, I could have been with Qinyu. It's all your fault, all of it. I couldn't argue. Because it was true. I even asked myself countless times, why did I suddenly look up one day and see Li Rongrong, shining like a star in the front row? If I hadn't seen her, if I hadn't fallen for her, would all these terrible things never have happened? Would we have spared each other this torment? But there are no what-ifs. I fell for her, and so the outcome was this wretched. Li Rongrong hated me, but her parents already knew her behavior. She couldn't get rid of me. She had to stay with me. Sometimes I even thought, fine, Let it be this way. It wasn't so bad. I was willing to spoil her, love her, indulge her for a lifetime, as long as she didn't leave me, as long as she ended up as my wife, as long as we were legally bound. That would be enough. But even that was too much to ask. Qin Yu returned. The moment he came back, he could waltz into the home Li Rongrong and I shared. Were the clothes she bought for me, and I, the master of that house, couldn't even step through the door. Should I give up? Of course I should. Stop here. Don't torture yourself anymore. It hurts too much. But just then, Li Rongrong's call came through. Hearing that familiar ringtone, I answered instinctively. Where are you? Why aren't you back cooking for me? I'm starving. I told you, I'm breaking up with you. Break up. Are you insane? The mockery in her voice was unmistakable. Zhang Heng, I know you have a temper. I know you're throwing a fit. But I'm warning you, know your limits. Qin Yu just came back temporarily last night and had nowhere to stay. So he spent the night at my place. Nothing happened between us. We're completely innocent. You're the filthy, disgusting one here. But don't assume everyone is as vile as you. Stop viewing others through your dirty lens. I've already explained this to you. Stop making a scene. I said I want to break up. Since he's back, I'll step aside for you. After saying this, I closed my eyes wearily. Just let me go. Stop tormenting me. I only fell in love with someone. I didn't do anything wrong. My mistake was getting too close, reaching for someone I shouldn't have. I know I was wrong now. So I'm letting go. Please, just let me go. For it felt like I had only just closed my eyes when the private room door was kicked open. Li Rongrong strode in angrily in her high heels. Before anyone could react, she grabbed a wine jug from the table and splashed it in my face. Had enough to drink. What are you doing? Chu Xiaojia seemed to want to stop her, but a glare from Li Rongrong made him back off. She grabbed my collar and slapped me twice. Zhang Heng, do you think I've given you too much leeway? I've already explained myself. How much longer are you going to keep this up? My cheeks burned, and the cold wine trickled down my neck. I must have looked utterly pathetic, humiliated in front of my closest friends by the woman I loved most. Yet my body was too weak to fight back. Besides, when it came to Li Rongrong and her actions, I had never been able to bring myself to retaliate. But even now, my stance remained firm. I said I want to break up. I struggled to stand, try not to look too disheveled, and met Li Rongrong's gaze seriously. You were right before. I overstepped. I was delusional, occupying a place that wasn't mine. I regret it now. I know I was wrong, so I'm giving it all back to him. I can explain to your parents, it's not that you're rejecting me, but that I'm the one giving up on you. You two should be together. Every word was sincere. I truly wanted to let go, to let Li Rongrong and Qin Yu be happy together, at least that way. She'd be happy, but Li Rongrong's face twisted with mockery. Zhang Heng, even now, you're still putting on an act. You're just angry, aren't you? You can't accept that I locked you out, right? I've already apologized. What more do you want? I don't want anything. I just want to break up. Compared to her fury, I was eerily calm, though the alcohol still clouded my mind. If you despise me so much, then I'll set you free. I'm letting you be with the person you love. Isn't that what you wanted? Why aren't you happy now? Who knows what kind of scheme you're plotting? You say you want me to be with Qin Yu, but who's to say you won't turn around and tattle to my parents? I know exactly what kind of person you are. So that's how she saw me, as someone so malicious. Fine. I wouldn't resist. I wouldn't argue. With Li Rongrong, I had always endured everything without complaint. The truth didn't matter anymore. I wouldn't dwell on it. Let's break up. If you can't stand that I'm the one initiating it, then you can be the one to say it. I didn't want to look at her anymore. I turned to leave the private room. This humiliation in front of Chu Xiaojia had gone on long enough. I just wanted to salvage the last shred of my dignity. Didn't you say you'd be my dog? Li Rongrong screamed. Didn't you promise that as long as I wanted, you'd stay by my side, kneeling at my feet, letting me do whatever I pleased? What? You don't want to now? How can you go back on your word? Have you forgotten what a pitiful wretch you were in front of me? Only I can discard you. What right do you have to break up? I closed my eyes in despair as the private room door swung open. Everyone outside had heard Li Rongrong's words. Yes, I was just her dog. I had no dignity left. From the inexplicable day I fell for her, it seemed I had always been trampled underfoot at her whim. Back in high school, that confession in the hallway, she treated it as a joke. But I had earnestly handed over my heart. 4 years in college, every demand met, every decision centered around her. She treated me like an errand boy, a simp, while I remained devout, praying only for her happiness. That night at the hotel, I thought I had finally touched the moon in my heart. But to her, it was just an act of self-destructive revenge. The 3 years after that, I thought we were together. I thought we were in love, but she felt trapped, forced to be with someone as unworthy as me. I turned to look at Li Rongrong, her chin raised high. Do you understand your mistake now? I do. I had been wrong all along, terribly wrong, but I hadn't cared. I kept making mistakes, leading to this moment. I deserved it. But Li Rongrong, when the heart dies, the person soon follows. Could you spare me? Not push me to the brink. But clearly, she wouldn't. I couldn't bear to hear another cruel word from her. I reached out. Let's go. I'll take you home. 5. Chu Xiaojia was exasperated. How can someone be so pathetic? She treats you like that, and you still chase after her. What's wrong with you? I wanted to ask myself the same thing, but but it didn't matter. Li Rongrong had a temper. If I didn't go back with her today, who knew what she'd do? In my current state, I couldn't stop her if she decided to make a scene. Li Rongrong strode ahead in her high heels, clicking sharply against the ground. Dizzy and disoriented, I still followed. Just as we reached the road, I suddenly snapped awake. A car was speeding toward Li Rongrong, about to hit her. Without thinking, I shoved her aside, but I was the one sent flying. Maybe the alcohol numbed the pain. I didn't feel hurt. But suddenly, I thought of my parents. If I really died, how could I face them? After graduating college, I'd stayed in the city for Li Rongrong, leaving them behind in our hometown. The guilt had weighed on me ever since. Now, dying for Li Rongrong, how could I ever make it up to them? At life and death moments, a person's true nature becomes clear. My life flashed before my eyes like a revolving lantern. I realized Li Rongrong and I had known each other for 10 years. 10 years of knowing her. 8 years of loving her. Maybe even longer. But she had never once looked at me. Never. I should have given up long ago. When I woke up in the hospital, I was surprised I hadn't died. A stroke of luck. A second chance at life. Maybe I shouldn't do such things anymore. Chu Xiaojia sat by my bed. His eyes read the moment he saw me awake. Why would you throw your life away for a woman like that? Do you know what? My voice was hoarse. What about Li Rongrong? You nearly died for her, and she couldn't even be bothered to look at you. Her childhood sweetheart had a fever. He's in this hospital too, and she ran off to take care of him. You almost lost your life for her. You're lying here hurt like this, and she want to take care of someone else, someone who just had a minor cold and fever. Zhang Heng. Wake up. She doesn't care about you at all. After all these years together, even raising a dog would have fostered some affection. Yet she feels nothing for you, less than a stranger. If she had even an ounce of humanity, she couldn't have done this. Isn't it time you gave up? I listened in silence, bitterly amused. Back when I just regained consciousness, I still shut. I foolishly wondered if Li Rongrong might be by my side. But fantasies remain just that, fantasies. I told myself to let go long ago. Yet in a life or death moment, I'd still thrown everything aside for her. A tiny part of me had even dared to hope. Maybe she cares just a little. Seeing me hurt for her, might she feel even a flicker of concern? Just a shred would be enough. Yet reality now screamed the truth. Nothing. Not a trace. How could I not give up? Li Rongrong came to the hospital room that evening, likely because Qin Yu had recovered from his cold. Zhang Heng. Are you okay? Her gaze was complicated. I nodded. I'm fine. She hesitated, then took my hand. I talked to my mom. Once you recover, we'll get married. The words tumbled out. She scolded me. My temper's been awful, and you put up with it all these years. You've always taken care of me. I'll work on changing. Enough. I cut her off. I made myself clear before. We're broken up. Of course I won't marry you. Why? Her voice sharpened. I explained everything. Why are you doing this? Where were you? I stared at her calmly. No more smoothing things over. No excuses on her behalf. These injuries, I got them for you, didn't I? I saved your life, right? So where were you when I was unconscious? You were with Qin Yu. He had a cold. I heard. A whole 38-degree fever. So, serious. My laugh was hollow. Admit it, Li Rongrong. There's only ever been one person in your heart. There's no room for anyone else. And after all these years, I've finally accepted it. I could never carve out even a corner in your heart to call my own. That's not fair to me. Now, I just want out. Listen, he'd fought with his family. He was alone. Here. Sick. With no one to. I couldn't take it anymore. Yes. Alone. With no one. Just like me. But you're my girlfriend. Not his. Mine. Shouldn't I be your priority? Why were you tending to him? For the first time, I let my bitterness spill over, but my voice cracked before I could finish. Years of pent-up grievances couldn't be voiced in mere sentences. I want to scream. I'm not a bad person. Why treat me like this? I just loved you. Did nothing wrong. Why be so cruel? Why never spare me even a shred of kindness? Li Rongrong, save your words. I know. I've always known how you feel. You love him. You've never truly seen anyone else. Being with me was never your choice. Now, I'm done. I shouldn't have clung to you. Shouldn't have made you feel trapped. My mistake. You can rest easy. I won't bother you again. I shut my eyes, turning away. I didn't see her leave, didn't care when she did. During the period of recovery after my injury, Li Rongrong never showed up again. I guess she must be happily together with Qin Yu by now. The two of them had known each other for so many years. Yet there had always been heavy obstacles preventing them from being together properly. Now that the final stumbling block, had disappeared, they must surely be living a blissful life. After recovering, I quit my job here and prepared to return to my hometown. From now on, I would live quietly with my parents. I wasn't wrong. Soon, I heard from mutual friends about Li Rongrong and Qin Yu's wedding. They were getting married. See, without the interference of a villain like me, the male and female leads could finally have their happily ever after. This clueless stumbling block should have exited the stage long ago. It was my fault for not realizing my place sooner. I could only hope it wasn't too late to step away now. Changing my environment quickly improved my mood. Time was a potent medicine. capable of healing all wounds, especially those of the heart. After all, I wasn't wealthy. I had to work hard to support myself and my parents. Money wouldn't fall from the sky, and I couldn't afford to wallow in sorrow all day. Months passed in a flash, and I rarely thought of Li Rongrong anymore. Only occasionally would my heart still ache at the memory. After all, she was someone I had once genuinely loved. How could I truly pretend nothing had happened? I never expected to see Li Rongrong again at this point. She stood stubbornly at my door, drenched from the rain. The first time I'd ever seen her so disheveled. I had no idea how she'd found me here. Zhang Heng. The moment she saw me, Li Rongrong threw herself into my arms, clinging tightly. I finally found you. Why are you here? I came looking for you. Aren't you already married? Married. Finally together with the one you loved. Your true match. Why come to me now? Do you want to flaunt how happy you are in front of me? Or do I need to congratulate you on your wedding right here? Wishing you eternal happiness, a lifetime of love, and a house full of children before you'll feel satisfied. It was utterly ridiculous. I felt nothing but bitter mockery. How had things come to this? Why was Li Rongrong still seeking me out? Did she really think so little of me? I was wrong. I was wrong. I really know I was wrong. Li Rongrong's sudden outburst left me completely stunned. She clung to my waist, her tears quickly soaking through my shirt. I was wrong. I was wrong. I know I was wrong. Between sobs, she explained that after her engagement to Qinyu, things hadn't been as happy as she'd imagined. Li Rongrong was used to being spoiled, pampered, and waited on. But all those years, she had been the one chasing Qinyu, the one bending over backward for him. Soon, they began fighting, small arguments every few days, big blowouts every week. Sometimes, in fits of anger, Li Rongrong would even hit Qinyu. But Qinyu wasn't me. He wouldn't indulge her. If Li Rongrong dared to raise a hand, Qinyu would strike back. She couldn't stand his attitude toward her. Qinyu had always held himself above her all these years. He had no intention of spoiling her now. Back and forth, Li Rongrong began to miss my kindness. So, she realized I was the easier dog to kick. I sighed deeply, suddenly finding myself laughable. All that self-righteous devotion had been nothing but a joke. But Li Rongrong shook her head desperately. No, I really do love you. Li Rongrong and I had been in a serious relationship for 3 years. Yet this was the first time I'd ever heard her say she loved me. Not a malicious curse wishing for my immediate death, but love, good heavens. In my lifetime, I could actually hear the words, love me, from Li Rongrong's mouth. How truly miraculous. Listening to what amounted to the biggest joke of the century. I had no idea how to respond. I wanted to laugh, to burst into laughter. What joke I was. Turns out, these past few years weren't entirely worthless, apparently. I had some talent at being a dog. Even after leaving, Li Rongrong still couldn't forget me. How absurd. Go back. I'll pretend you never came today. Li Rongrong, don't make me disgusted by you. It was the first time I had ever spoken so harshly to her. She seemed stunned. Perhaps she thought that if she showed a little weakness, acted coquettish, and shed a few tears, I'd forgive her, that we'd stay together, and I'd go back to being her punching bag, her obedient dog who never fought back. But a person won't stay degraded forever. I wouldn't do that again. Li Rongrong left, but she returned soon enough, within 3 days. This time, her face was bruised. Unsurprisingly, it was probably Qinyu's handiwork. I broke up with him. Qinyu is a beast. He brought another woman into our home, flaunted their intimacy right in front of me. He said he never cared about me, that I was the one who clung to him. As she recounted this, I inexplicably felt even more like laughing. Qinyu's treatment of Li Rongrong was no different from how she had treated me. When she did those things, she thought nothing of it. But now that someone else treated her the same way, she couldn't take it. I thought I'd feel the thrill of revenge. But in the end, I wasn't Li Rongrong. I didn't have the inclination to hurt others with their own suffering. Nor did I enjoy trampling on someone's sincerity. I just felt speechless. Why tell me things that had nothing to do with me? Before, I had worried I might still have lingering feelings for her. But now, seeing her like this in front of me, seeing how foolish she was, how she humiliated herself, how she finally got her comeuppance, I just found it meaningless. Truly meaningless. I never actively sought revenge or wished for her downfall. Yet she had forced herself onto this path, writing the ending to her own story. For the last time, I looked at her and said, Li Rongrong, what makes you think I want someone no one else does? The words were too cruel. I almost couldn't bring myself to say them. But the meaning was clear. Why should I keep accepting you as a backup every time Qinyu rejects you? Last time, I was young and naive, fooled by you. Why should I let you fool me again? I'm only 25, yet I spent 8 years being your dog. What more do you want from me? I just happened to fall for someone in my youth. I've already paid such a heavy price, suffered such retribution. Isn't that enough? Li Rongrong left my doorstep, utterly broken. I never imagined that would be the last time I saw her in this lifetime. Li Rongrong never watched where she was going. I had reminded her countless times, but she never took it seriously. Just before we broke up, I even shielded her once, yet she still didn't care. From upstairs, I watched as a car struck her, sending her flying. By the time I reached her, she was already gone. Just like that, the woman I had loved for so many years died before my eyes. Her death had nothing to do with me, yet I couldn't help but feel it was her retribution. Her parents arrived quickly. No parent is heartless toward their own child. Knowing they couldn't face me, they said nothing, only thanking me for informing them. But Chinyu, the manly Rongrong had loved so deeply for so many years, never showed up at all. 2 months after Li Rongrong's death, Chinyu quickly married another woman. Sometimes when I think of Li Rongrong, I truly feel she was nothing but a joke, and I nearly became the same kind of joke myself. Fortunately, I came to my senses in time. As my career flourished, romance blossomed too. I met a girl, beautiful, kind, ambitious, and perfectly aligned with my values. Both our parents were satisfied, and soon we entered the halls of marriage. When our child turned 1 month old, Chu Xiaojia joined me for drinks over dinner. Casually, he brought up, "Do you still remember Li Rongrong? Who was that?" "I don't recall. The so-called people of the past are all behind me. I only look forward."